Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. I'm gonna give y'all some time to tune in because I know these notifications ain't go out. Just another little quick check-in, y'all. A little quick check-in. First things first, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Wednesday. For those who may be out and about right now, make sure that y'all keeping yourself cool as possible. Try to avoid all the unnecessary heat if possible. Keep yourself cool and hydrated, especially in areas where it's reaching triple digits. And that's including everybody in the city as well. You might be reaching some triple digit weather, so get prepared for this little heat wave. Make sure y'all drinking enough water. Angela, baby. Yeah. But again, if you're out and about right now, make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated. Keep you some water, some Gatorade, something. Try to avoid all the sugary stuff because that's going to make you even more thirsty, like the sodas and stuff. But I say, keep you some water, some Gatorade, or even keep you some cold tea, something. Just keep yourself hydrated because we know the weather is going to be very uncomfortable for a lot of people. So, also for those who suffer from certain skin conditions, y'all make sure y'all keeping yourselves based up the way you're supposed to. Whether it's the ointment or anything else for that matter, that's going to keep your skin moist and avoid the irritations and the breakouts. Yeah, do what's necessary. Make sure you keep the right type of ointments, sunblock in case you're going out and about. Riaz, what's going on, my guy? And yeah, just try to keep yourself cool as possible. That's another thing. Try to keep yourself cool as possible. If y'all having breathing problems, another thing too, stay out that heat like that. Unless you have to go out, stay indoors or stay somewhere where it's cool. Because it'd be tricky breathing, especially for those who got asthma. But, all in all, appreciate everybody that tuned in yesterday for the conversation. Just a little light conversation for the folks, something that was really needed. And it's been a reoccurring theme because this week has been a very interesting week on my end, just because it's just been a blessing to at least be a part of a positive talk, especially with somebody that needed it. 2 straight days of having people who are damn near about to take themselves up out of here and just giving them the right type of motivation and a listening ear for them to change their mind, which is a good thing. That feels good on somebody's spirit when you basically just stop somebody from crashing all the way out. So I feel good about it because, I know I said something that resonated with them, but I also still got to keep my guards up just in case, because you might have done something for now, but it's only could be just for that moment. But for those that missed it yesterday, I would definitely catch the replay. And I'm back again with it today. Like I said, back with it again today. Again, it's something that need to come out to the forefront, and it's going to come out today. And I'm going to say this on both ends. But I'm mostly going to tell some of y'all ladies about yourselves. The key word, some, not all. And the only reason why I'm going in like that is because when you come on certain sites or when you just come across certain things in your feed. The fact that some of y'all could poke fun or say that a man's mental health is not important at all is bonkers. Sorry, it is. It's bonkers. There's no way you can sit here and think that it's only your mental health that's important. I wish I knew the young lady name so I could tell her to her face. There's no way you could come on any platform and have the goals to say that men's mental health is not important when everybody's mental health is important. That was the dumbest thing to ever come out your mouth. And there's some fellas on here that do the same shit. There's nothing fun or there's no games when it comes down to somebody's mental health. Because when that person decides to fully clock out, it could be a danger, not just to them. It could be a danger to the people that's around. In some cases, they gonna bring that trauma to you. And my thing is, are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to have somebody else's blood on your hand just because you either disregarded or you sat here and poked fun and said that it wasn't important? Everybody's mental health is important, but men's mostly, because again, if we ain't operating correctly, it could be things that, man, listen, it'd be catastrophic. And we see this day by day. See, again, there's different levels when it comes down to somebody's mental health and what they going through. You got some people who probably ain't nowhere on the spectrum, right? But just because of the normal things that are happening in their life and it's coming full circle, that could leave trauma or leave damage where you didn't think it would. Prime example, somebody lost family left and right. It could trigger them a certain way, or it could possibly put them in a depression. And again, everybody grieves differently, but the main thing you got to remember is, there's certain things that are out of your control, regardless to what's going on. And your best bet would be to at least try to keep yourself at balance. But some people don't have that option. Some people don't even have that outlet. And that's another thing. For you to say that it's fake, or for you to say that that's just you fighting demons, no. If you want to be technical in the sense, it would be you're fighting a demon, yeah, because you're fighting depression. Because that's a battle that not a lot of people win. And the ones that do win, they lucky because they either got the support or they kicked it in gear and said, listen, I got to do this for me. I got to live for me and the people that love me. And, that was their motivation right there. You can't cure depression, but you can beat it. You can beat it to where it's not going to be a detriment to yourself. But this is another thing. How can some people get the help they need when the spaces that they have ain't safe? Or what's supposed to be safe spaces turns out to just be nothing but drama and negativity. And in some cases, like I said, there's certain things that will trigger somebody and trigger them to the fullest extent. Depending on what you said or how you said it, that could be the problem right there. More so than none, it's just the things you say. Because now, what if you come across somebody that probably was going to open up and say something, and now all of a sudden, that person don't trust it now. They done seen what happened. They done seen that person came, and now you talking about that person, or you saying crazy things about that person, and now everybody's looking at them funny. And when it's all said and done, guess what? That could be the trigger right there. There are a lot of men and women out there who are suffering from different forms of mental health and depression. And it's not a game when you can sit here and say that, oh, it's fake and, oh, it's not that important, and then laugh. Not funny. Know what's funny? It's always fun in games until the rabbit got the gun. Because that was the most insensitive thing you could think to say. Because guess what? What happens if somebody in your family decides to go off the deep end and God forbid do something that could destroy the family? Then what? Do some of y'all think before y'all come on these platforms and just speak, or y'all just saying shit for clicks and views and attention? And you got to think about the things you say. And it didn't matter if you was joking or not. It's not a funny game when it comes down to that. Shoot, I lost one good friend just like that. You know, they didn't get a chance to really answer that call because I was in the midst of something. Went to the wrong person, said something, started floating around like how everybody do, loose lips. That person got triggered and did the unthinkable the following day just because it was to a point now. It's like, where can I go and actually say something without being judged or without being laughed at or without being persecuted? And that's what I'm saying. When you don't have a safe space to even do that, that's where some of the mental problems can start. Or it can start to help deteriorate. And guess what? It's going to be a problem. So again, y'all need to think about what y'all say before y'all come on any of these platforms. It don't matter. Because again, you don't know who's following you, who could be listening to you. And if you're sitting here poking fun at this, knowing that this is a dangerous situation to even poke fun at, your judge of character says a lot. Sorry, it does. It's just certain things you should never laugh at. So if you could sit here and laugh or even be funny style about mental health, does that mean you won't be the same way about SA? I gotta say SA, y'all, because I forgot I gotta be friendly on it. So you gonna laugh at somebody who was sexually attacked? Are you gonna laugh at somebody who was physically abused? Are you gonna laugh at a child that's being physically or verbally abused at home, being neglected? Are these the things y'all gonna laugh at and poke fun at? When you look at it, it's downright disrespectful and it's corny when you sit here and poke fun at situations like that. Again, I've literally watched people damn near take themselves out, and luckily the right people was there to avoid that. Nonetheless, it's still a scary situation. So this is why I be talking about, like, some of y'all come on these platforms, you got these followings, you making things happen, but then the same token, some of y'all just showing a real judge of character. Because since when has it ever been funny to laugh at somebody who really is suffering from that type of crisis? Since when has it ever been cool or you get cool points for discussing what somebody talked with you in private about? This is why in some cases, some people talk about non-disclosures and all of that, because if there's a situation going on, you know, they don't want everybody to know, especially right then and there. You know, like, respect it. Because if shoe was on the other foot, kid you not, a lot of y'all would definitely be crashing out. So that should tell you something. If somebody comes to you in a vulnerable moment, you don't try to weaponize it or villainize it against them. And you definitely don't make light of it, because you never know how severe it could be. But see, in this day and age, everything is a joke now. The things that we knew wasn't funny is It's funny now. It's content, right? Like I said, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And at some point, guess what? Those same things that y'all laughing at, y'all gonna be crying about later on at some point. So again, you need to think twice before y'all come on these places and talk your shit. I mean, come on now. Some of y'all wonder why y'all get the treatment that y'all get, or you get you get the ill wills like you do sometimes. Yeah, because again, you gotta think about it. You was just on a platform, literally sat here, and you disclosed or discussed something that shouldn't have been disclosed, and then now you got that person feeling the type of way. And what happens if they decide to just end it all because of what you did? Again, are you ready for that blood on your hands? And you got to think about it. It's not just adults that are suffering from these type of mental health crises. You got young kids as well, too. You got teenagers that's going through it, especially the teens, because when they get to high school, shoot, it's a whole different world for them. They almost into the world. When they get into their next step, they're going to be either going to college or getting into the adult world. This is why it's important for a lot of people to try to find an outlet or a space where y'all could vent, talk out your issues. And I'm going to say this again for those who need to hear this. If you are to a point where you feel like you are going to hurt yourself, there is a suicide hotline for that. You know that. And if push comes to shove, your best bet is to commit yourself to the nearest ward or the nearest hospital that will take you in. Because you can't be out here in this world when you don't have a clear mind to execute the things you need to execute. Can't be out here if you crashing out. You might be tripping off of something, some form of drug. And that's another thing that will take somebody out of here quicker. It's bad enough you could be suffering with certain issues as far as the mental health crisis is concerned, but then when you add in liquor and anything else to it, it triples it. So again, you gotta think about it. We love to poke fun at certain things, and certain things is comedy. But when it comes to them real life traumas that could be dramatic for everybody else, that's not funny. And you really need to think, damn, was it worth me doing this? Was it worth me saying this? And in some cases, some of y'all catching backlash and fire just for some of the things you have said. Again, you got to think about it. It's not so much as that we in a sensitive era now. It's the principles of just having some decorum when it comes down to what you speaking and what you bringing. Can't sit here and poke fun at somebody who's suffering from severe mental health crisis. Because again, they can end up hurting themselves or hurting the people around them plus themselves. And again, when there's different drugs that could be involved as well too, yeah, it's going to amplify everything. Like when I had a discussion with this random person last night that just walked up on me. I'm in the city, so I got to be on point. But when I seen they wasn't really no harm and they just was going through, see, that's why it's good to read people, read your environment, read your society real well. So I didn't have to feel like I was going to be on defense and have to fight. No. Despite how aggressive he may have been, once they let that go, I had to tell them what they needed to hear, not what they wanted to hear. And after saying that, it's like a light bulb clicked in that person's head and said, you know what, you're right. you know, and hopefully he went and got the help that he was supposed to get. Because another thing too, when you are going through some severe depression, whether you prescribe medication or not, you really don't want to be drinking any type of liquor at all. Definitely don't want to be doing no other pills. But again, you got to also remember, there's some of y'all who have loved ones, some of y'all have kids. And despite what you might be going through, I know it's an everyday fight. You got to remember, these people are looking up to you to continue to fight. Continue to be that upbeat spirit when you need to be. Continue to face your fears like you're supposed to. Taking the easy way out, it ain't no easy way out. And it ain't going to be easy for the friends and family who actually do love and care about you. That's why I say, if at any point y'all feel like you need a safe space to go to, make sure you find it. You know, it was random yesterday because that person was sitting there long before I even got there to sit down and smoke my blunt and chill. And again, you know, like I said, he could talk to anybody else that was there, but randomly just came and sat down and talked. See, that's the thing. When you got that aura, trust me, you know, it never fails. It's something throughout my life. Somebody could be going through the utmost, even if it's somebody I don't know, and they would rather come sit down in a safe space and talk. It's cool. Riders, baby. What's going on, sis? Y'all already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. Make sure y'all sharing this out too, because again, I'm going in. And I gotta go in. And again, this is on both sides because I've seen not just men, but women too do that same thing. It's not a game when it comes down to somebody's mental health. It's not a game when somebody's in a severe depression and they are either ready to harm themselves or they have already started harming themselves and they ain't getting the results they are looking for. I knew a person who damn near hung themselves. And if niggas wouldn't have found them when they found them, it could have been lights out. No doubt, no doubt. Pass me a plate when it's all said and done. You already know, you already know. Don't be light skinned with that plate neither, sis. Extra dipping sauce on the side, please. Extra dipping sauce. Thank you. You know, but I'm saying, I knew a person who literally could have ended themselves just by punching a hole in the glass. And one person almost tried to take themselves out jumping off a roof. So I can speak from experience when I say these type of things y'all think is a game, it's not a game. And again, when it starts hitting home, you won't realize, like, damn, we shouldn't have even did that. Because some people love to poke fun at the most sensitive things until it becomes a reality on their end. I see this on a daily, you know, and then even down when it comes down to what you watching, not just on these platforms, but even on certain shows, like people are laughing at certain things, not funny, you know. No doubt, appreciate you, Angela, baby. Hope everything go well with your appointment. You know, but that's what I'm saying. You know, the fact that you would even say that men's mental health is not important, they faking it, they just fighting demons, and you just saying all sorts of nonsensical stuff. Again, this is why most men don't come out and say much of anything to anybody, not unless they really can come out and say something. Because it's coming to a point now where everything is being villainized, everything is being mocked, everything is being discussed, even when not supposed to be discussed. How can you trust to talk to somebody if they can't even hold water? Come on there, man. Well, I said, you know, no matter who's come to me with anything, with any personal issue, it would never get out there. And there's no need for it to be out there because them people came to me in confidence. But it's just the outlining again, the outlining of things that you see on a day-to-day basis. Some of y'all think it's a game, but you really don't understand how much damage that does cause to loved ones, family members, especially when somebody was just here and then now they gone because of a certain trigger. So y'all need to think twice before you just come on here and run your mouth about anything. Let me see if I can say this in the best ways possible, right? Let me see if I can use some good examples. See, some people think that everybody's family line and family tree and lineage don't have some form of depression, schizophrenia, bipolar, ADHD, whatever. Like we all act like we come from all perfect family lines. It's far from the truth. And let's keep this real. Let's look at, for those who may be familiar, let's look at the Hemingway family. Ernest Hemingway, I believe, great author and everything. Suicide. Clinically depressed. I believe his son, same thing. Like they family has a line going even back of severe mental health, depression, and suicide. You gonna tell me that whole family tree is perfect when half of the generation throughout that family went out the same way? Or let's think about, for those who like to watch wrestling, let's think about the Von Erich family, Texas Tornado and his brother. His family had long, I think damn near every last one of them suicide, if I'm not mistaken. Outside of one or two, I believe that's still living, but everybody else suicide, either due to drugs, drug addictions, or just again not having the right space. See, we think it's a game until we really see that somebody is on the verge of doing something that could be catastrophic to themselves. And then again, let's be real. Some of y'all don't even care. Y'all won't even bat an eye at it. That's so true. My oldest comes to me and talk, sees how the whole world just judge and don't care. I mean, you got to. Look, Riders, you're doing the right thing. Like any parent would be doing. You got to do the right thing. Because again, in this world right here, you got too many people who judge. They judge without knowing, or they make their own biased opinions without fully doing the knowledge and the research. Again, like let's be real. Again, that Hemingway family, long history. Even the people who were successful in that family, long history of clinical depression, mental health, and suicide. We're not going to bypass that. May these people rest in peace because, again, some of these people still have prominent lives to live. It's just that they couldn't deal with the ills and couldn't deal with all of the hurt and pain and just the world collapsing in on them. So, it's something to think about. It's not a game because, again, it's not just adults that suffer, kids suffer. Like, come on now. You never know what a child could be going through, and they could be to a point where if they don't have that outlet and space to really vent and let it go, it could be damaging. God forbid what happens if you not paying attention to certain things, your child decides to just overdose on whatever pills and medication is around. How you gonna feel that? It wouldn't be good, would it? Now imagine how the people feel that actually lost family members behind stuff like that. And y'all poke fun and say, oh, this ain't real. It's a myth. It's just people fighting demons and people just want people to feel sorry. You opens your mouth to say some shit like that. And that's the most insensitive thing you can say or do, period. You know? Again, this is why in this era, it's a lot of people that just rather not even say nothing. But again, nobody should suffer in silence at all. It ain't a good look. And I'm speaking from experience because at one point I was suffering too much in silence. And if I wouldn't have had that breakdown the way I did, and who knows where I would have been right now. So again, it should tell you something. You know, there's certain things you just don't play around with. And I've always felt when you poke fun at certain things or when you continuously do that, at some point you get your karma. And it might not come directly to you. It could be in the form of your family tree and your lineage. So you better think twice about that. You know, and again, it feels good when you actually sit here and keep somebody from jumping off the deep end. And within this last week, that's exactly what's been happening. Whether it's people that know me or it's just random people. They've been coming because they could sense that aura. It's a safe space to come talk. Yeah, because I'm going to let you vent. I'm going to let you say everything you need to say. Sometimes I don't have to respond. And that's what some people need anyway. Just not even a response, just somebody to listen. But I'm going to also tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And sometimes it might sound like I'm rough, but that's just my natural nature. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat it. Like I told the dude last night, you feeling like you really ready to do something to yourself, there's EMTs walking around every other corner. Let them know that this is what's going on. I said, as a matter of fact, there's an ambulance right up the street if you really feel like that. And I believe he did do that. So again, because I walked off after I told him what I had told him. I didn't dismiss nothing, but I told him some real facts. And I told him what he was doing is only going to add worse to whatever your situation is. So you need to put it down. And I'm going to say that for anybody that is suffering from those types of depressions, alcohol ain't going to be the thing to help. If anything, it might numb the pain for a little bit, but it's going to make you even more irate and more angry and more emotional. And then if the wrong person happens to trigger you while you in that zone, all bets is off. The goal is to get up out of that anger and to get up out of that hurt and that misery. Not continuously add to it. I can't tell you what to do, but I would say in the safest scenario, you just need to get a clear head. And drinking ain't going to give you nothing. Go find a quiet space and let it all out. If you ain't that expressive with it, if you good with your writing, good with whatever, write down your thoughts. Write down everything that you're feeling. Write down, every day, day by day. There's multiple outlets to try to suppress and battle depression. You just got to find what works for you. But some people don't get that opportunity because, again, it's already too late. When you see something is off, especially even if it's with your closest people, you really care about them, make sure that they good. Do a quick little mental check. Yo, son, you good? Yo, sis, you good? Everything cool out of family. Like, how you been? Like, it don't take much but 5-10 minutes sometimes. Sometimes they just need that. That's all they need is just that little bit of time. And in some cases, some people didn't have the chance to be that safety net because, again, life be life and sometimes. But when the person does try to reach out, your best bet is to try to reach back out. I had once or twice where I either didn't receive a call or I didn't, or I didn't hear the phone go off. But the minute I did, let me return this call. Let me make sure everything is good, Because again, sometimes you be dealing with things in life yourself. That's the thing, It got to be a balance. And in some cases, some people are not mentally strong to deal with somebody else and their trauma. And in some cases, guess what? You can't be aligned around that all day neither, because then now you start taking in some of that. Again, you just got to remember, you unload as much as you can unload when you got the right people involved. You know? So, I think it's critical now. It's critical for people to, again, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the situations that you're in. Make sure that the things that you say don't cause a domino effect. Because it ain't nothing worse than, again, watching somebody fully crash out and not doing nothing about it. And then guess what? You didn't do nothing about it. You're still responsible. It's still on you. Why? Because, again, you had the opportunity to help and you did. And in some cases, that would be a crime because you watched something and you didn't need to report it or you didn't do nothing. So, again, you got to think about it. This not nothing to play around with. Mental health and depression, it's not a joke. It's never been a joke. So you're going to laugh at people because this is where it seems like it's going with some of these people who create content in all these different spaces. So it's funny when it comes down to mental health. So is it also funny, like I said earlier, when people get sexually attacked? Is it funny for those who could have Down syndrome? And is it cool to poke fun at somebody who is physically disabled, mentally disabled? Are we getting to that point now? Just keeping it real. Some of y'all come on these platforms and don't care what you say because it don't affect you. But some of y'all will start feeling that because when you keep on with the same repeated rhetoric, at some point you meet your downfall. It's just like you on here being racist, right? That's on any platform. You on here being racist and doing all this unnecessary foolery. At some point you're gonna meet your downfall. You're gonna meet your wall. Again, it's not a game. Because if y'all want to quote unquote create content, let it be organic. Let it not be on the backs of others. And definitely don't let it be at the despise of others. Because come on now. It's not right. But again, I would say for those who need to hear this, there's nothing wrong with going to get professional help if needed, or even checking yourself in so you could get the proper treatment that's needed. I know in some spaces they only allowing you to stay for a certain amount of time and then they basically putting you back out there in the world. But you got other places where it's not going to be up to you to walk out. It's going to be up to that doctor to decide if you're ready to walk out into the world or not. And if it's getting to that point, you need to go see one of them. Because, yeah, it won't be up to you. There ain't going to be no, well, I feel good now. I'm going to sign myself out. No, you're not going nowhere until we see that there's progress. And that's the thing. Fighting depression, it's a process, but it's also positive progress when you have the right outlets to basically do what's necessary. Shit. In some cases, the slightest stress could trigger somebody's mental health off the rails. Like I said, I've seen it happen. Just imagine you think you come into a space where you think it's safe, and the minute you decide to let your guard down, that space that you was in done turned into a whole war zone, or it done turned into something negative and just not prosperous. Come on now. So you can't overlook that part neither. Like I said, it's all fun until the rabbit got the gun. But overall though, like I said, it's time to start, making better calculated decisions when you bring in whatever to these platforms. Start using your critical thinking. Because what you think might not cause some drama, it will. What you think ain't gonna blow up in your face, it will. What you think you won't get backlash for, again, you will. And especially if you are not showing signs of being remorseful on certain things. Like again, it's never funny when you see that somebody is really hurting and you dismiss it. So I said, it's time to start getting back to being selfless. You can't judge somebody unless you walk the day in their shoes. You can judge character, but you can never judge what somebody has gone through and what they came from. That's where people get the game messed up. Yeah, you could judge character. You could see how people operate, but you can't judge their background. You can't judge how they came up. And you can't judge where they came from to where they at now. Some people have come from literally nothing and worked their way up in life. And it's a good thing. When you look at time and you look over the course of time and you made it from a space where you was uncertain to now you just have sky's the limit. See, just like yesterday, I ain't gonna be on too crazy, but I really did just want to chime in. Like I said, I'm gonna be bringing something back and forth. Might start trying to do these mornings or these afternoons again. Like I said, I got some things I'm working on outside of, so that's another reason why I ain't been as active. But when I do bring something, something that need to be said, and hopefully it's something that's felt. But I know in this generation right now, even when it's something serious that's being talked about, the people will laugh and joke. I had a situation like that a couple nights ago. I decided to go on one of my other platforms, and almost everybody, even the ones that rock with me, was having a great conversation and dialogue until one person came in and tried to mess it up. And sure enough, got sent to the upper room. And I ain't have to spaz, crack jokes, or say anything. I just hit him where it hurt. See, he wasn't expecting somebody to say, "Oh, well, if this is how you feel, then I'm guessing this is situation that's occurred in your family." And the person shut up and got up off the platform. Yeah, because it don't play games. Because I hit you where it hurt, and I'm gonna make sure you feel it. Because again, you gotta feel what somebody else is going through. You don't know where a person is at, and you don't know how dangerous it can be. But if you adding on to that sense of danger, guess what? Going to get the results. And again, when you have people who want to laugh, judge, or make light of situations, this will make people not even worry or not even bother to do so. Just imagine you think you're about to open up to somebody and then you find out before time, person can't even hold water. You think they're going to want to talk to you, and some of y'all will try to say that, "Oh, my space is open for anybody. It's no judgment." But then y'all turn around and either talk about them or judge them. So again, you expect somebody to feel comfortable when you ain't making it comfortable. These things y'all need to think about. Imagine if something that you said triggered somebody to go off and then they end up harming themselves, unaliving themselves, or worse. Let's say they come and bring that drama to you and then they do the unthinkable. Then what? Multiple lives damaged and destroyed just because of insensitivity. Childish behavior is what I call it. Because if any time you could think to poke fun at somebody who's really suffering from that, you ain't no better than them. You ain't better than the next person. And you need to reevaluate your life. Because again, what happens if it's in your family? And some of y'all act like it's not, but it is. Frugal, baby. See, I might not have these talks every day, but when I do, I'm going in deep. And I ain't afraid to go as deep as possible and come back. And sometimes you have to get to the deep root of the problem. Don't forget that part. You do. And again, it's not a funny situation at all when somebody just is not fully there. I've seen people with tears in their eyes and didn't know for what. And in some cases, it wasn't tears of joy. It was tears of hurt and pain that they was finally letting go. And I would say for anybody who's in that situation, it's all right to cry, man. You're going to have to let it out. Because when all of that shit is bottled up, it's going to come out one way. If it don't come out in anger and aggression, it's going to come out in tears. If it happens to come out in tears, cry as many tears as you need to. Let that shit go. And I say it to anybody because some people's mental health is triggered from past traumas. Get over those traumas. Stop bleeding on to everything new. I'm sorry to sound that way, but it's true. There's some people who are capable enough to take the time and heal and grow. And one thing to remember too is you have to eliminate all toxicities from your life, because even that right there could be a trigger for your mental health if you really are suffering from it. Be aware of the spaces that you frequent, because that could be an issue too. But again, there's nothing funny about somebody who could possibly unalive themselves. There's nothing funny about people who have already done it, because you're laughing at people who are going through the worst pain ever. So you gonna tell me you gonna go to a funeral and laugh when everybody is somber? Like, this is what I'm saying. Some of y'all show a real judge of character when you come on these spaces and say the things you say and have no regards or no remorse for it. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know who could have been watching. Somebody probably really took me serious. Because some of y'all think it's jokes. But again, there's nothing funny about it. It's not funny until somebody in your family or somebody that you close with decides to end it all by either blowing their brains out, by trying to stab themselves, hang themselves, or worse. You name it. If they decide to try to do it that way and they determined to do it, guess what? What you gonna do when it does happen? And how you gonna feel behind that? So, some of y'all need to be wise in the words you choosing when you coming on these platforms. It's not funny. Anybody of any age could be suffering from that. That's why I said it's time to start revising and resetting the blueprints. But yeah, I just wanted to chime in with the folks today. Like I said, just a quick, quick, you know, quick little live. Basically a continuation from yesterday. This is a mental health check, especially for, again, those who have been following, those who really have been loyal and have been showing the love to this faction. And, regardless to what, there's always a safe space you can come to, whether it's on a platform or if I try to get in contact with you some way, somehow. This is what it's supposed to be. Because again, there's people going through something every day. But again, you need to make sure that these people are in the best spirits. There's nothing wrong with taking 5 minutes out your day to listen to somebody, or just being that voice and that reason for them, because they're gonna need that. So overall, for those that need to hear it, when you come on all these different platforms and you quote unquote bringing content, or you just talking your shit to the people, make sure you're not saying something that could cause a real ripple or domino effect, because it ain't just going to affect the person on the opposite end. It's going to affect you as well, one way or another. you know some of y'all lose channels or lose platforms behind what you say. So again, we in an era now where you can only say but so much. And even when you say something, it better not be something that can get you canceled. That's all I can say. So overall, just wanted to chime in with the folks, make sure everybody was good. Yeah, I know I haven't really done one of these early afternoons in a minute, but like I said, we'll start switching some things up at some point, and never know. You might get an early morning, you might get a late night, you might get a super late night. We'll see how this pan out. But again, I would advise those people who need to hear this. If you feel you don't have an outlet or a safe space to go to, you have to be a part of creating that. So make sure you find people that are conducive to your overall well-being. And again, make sure that there's a great bond and a structure there. You know, and if you really do trust them people, and if they have shown you that they can be trusted, then don't be afraid to let them know what's going on when you need to. It might not be every day. But when you are going through your toughest and your roughest times, you do need somebody to speak to, or you just need to let go of it. There's multiple outlets. You just have to find one that, again, works for you. So, and again, for those who might be out and about, for those who are in the areas right now, yes, it's summertime. So those who might be facing triple digit temperatures, again, try to keep yourself hydrated. Try to keep yourself cool as possible. And if you feel anything is off with your health, or if you just feel slightly off, go get yourself checked out before you actually check out. You know, again, your health is your wealth. And even down to your mental health, your health is your wealth. And when you're not your healthiest, it could be, it could be catastrophic. Know that for a fact. But again, I'm an advocate for that. Go get the help when you need it. And don't hesitate to accept it when it's given. Phil, today was definitely another great message. And, I appreciate everybody that did rock out. I believe the link is still in the chat in case anybody do want to chime in. But all in all, I just want to chime in with y'all. Do a quick health check on everybody. Make sure y'all all good. Hopefully y'all families are straight. Hopefully y'all keeping yourselves together for this summer. Yeah, it's going to be a hot one, but it's going to be a long one too. Whatever events you might be going to or whatever events you could be part of, if it's hot in them areas, just make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated. Try to drink enough water. Just try to keep yourself as healthy as possible, no matter what you know. For those who could be visiting the beaches, and make sure you got that sunscreen and make sure you got whatever you may need for that day and enjoy your day. See, I brought this again today because I'm really just getting sick of everywhere you go, there's somebody or damn near anybody poking fun at the severe issues that's not laughable. Depression and suicide, ain't games to play with on either end. And if you could sit here and think to downplay it, then you a piece of shit. Give a damn how you felt about it. Take it how you want to take it today, because from here on out, I'm giving everybody what they want. I'm the magical genie. I'm gonna give you what you want. And if you want that real, I'm gonna give it to you. Ain't sugarcoating it either. I think that's the problem now. We got too many people that love to sugarcoat. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna tell you raw and uncut what's going on. And sometimes you need to hear it raw and uncut. Everybody has different ways to get the message. The whole point is making sure that they understand that message as well too. So before I get up out of here, take the time again to thank everybody who rocked out, shared the live, was part of the conversation. And I'm trying to debate if I'm gonna do something again later, or I could possibly do something again later. If not, I'll definitely do something tomorrow. For the mods that's in here, y'all already know y'all could drop y'all links. I'm switching shit up all around the board. You got a mod stick, drop your link if you're a content creator. For those that are coming to the channel, there are some great ones that are in here, but don't get them twisted, because you could be the fuck up out of here too. And see the upper room. So y'all make sure y'all checking out the people, and if you ain't, make sure y'all doing so. It's about that support, right? Support is everywhere. And when you say you support somebody, you stick to that. You don't go against the grain no matter what. So those that celebrating birthdays this week, I know it's cancer season. May y'all have another year, another blessing around the sun. Enjoy every moment of life. Keep creating memories. And if you was able to see another year and another day in good health and good spirits, give you praises where it's due. Appreciate everybody who's been a part of the build, still becoming a part of the build. And yeah, we still gonna have these great talks, whether it's every day or every other day. But guess what? You're gonna get it the right way. So I definitely will try to chime back in later on. If not, like I said, definitely do something tomorrow. But let me get my ass up out of here. Got some things to do before plantation tonight. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the replay gang. Shout outs to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and they'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real builds. And yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all mornings, afternoons, evenings, and it's already Thursday across where it need to be at. What's going on, brother? What's going on, chillin'? Oh yeah, I still need my lottery numbers for tomorrow today, so don't think we forgot about that. So y'all stay safe, keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.